Environmental impact, fast fashion, and technological consumerism, presented by Damián de la Rosa,
José Antonio Méndez,
José Eduardo Martínez,
Leonardo Mejía.
How much does it cost the environment to be fashionable? Fast fashion is derived from a business model that is responsible for producing clothing for the population. It is responsible for replicating seasonal trends and haute couture designs in order to deliver them to consumers at an accessible price, but in order to lower prices and make this business profitable. Lower quality materials are used.
how much do clothing brands pollute? Currently, Shein is the most polluting brand in the fashion industry on the planet, producing over 500 everyday products. Other brands such as Zara, Victoria's Secret, Boohoo, Fashion Nova, Romy, Abercrombie, American Eagle, for
manufacturing processes. We also have to take into account that within the textile industry, all materials and their variants, such as dyes and the materials used to decorate and design clothing, are normally very harmful due to their toxic compound, such as dyes in this case. One of the effects of the contamination of bodies of water with dyes is that these chemical products prevent the penetration of light into the water, which affects the photosynthesis process. In addition, these are increasingly recognized for their carcinogenic and mutant properties in organisms. The textile production processes, including dyeing, washing, printing, and finishing of fabrics, leads to the discharge of large amounts of wastewater that is highly toxic to the environment. In the dyeing processes, water, the vital element for us, is what is wasted the most, since based on a study carried out in France, it has been possible to verify that only for the manufacture of single cotton shirt, about 2,700 liters are waste of water to turn it into a wearable fabric.
The Rio Declaration. The Rio Declaration on Environment and Development says that the human beings are the center of conscience related to sustainable development. They have the right to a healthy and productive life in harmony with nature, something that humanity is not fulfilling since harmony refers to the balance of things of a set, and humanity does not have a balance when it comes to exploiting resources, since most of the natural resources that are used for the production of clothing they end up wasting.
Technological consumerism affects various factors and areas of our lives, such as the economic factor, sedentary lifestyle, decreased social interaction, and productivity, since technology is part of our lives, and sometimes it is difficult to separate ourselves from electronic devices, such as telephones, computers, video games, consoles, television, etc. The production of these technological products are approximately 50 million tons of technological scrap are generated per year according to the ONU. Some of this weight of is refrigerators, computer equipment, televisions, monitors, lamps, spotlights, etc. Although not only technological waste is what generates an impact on the environment, but also the increase in energy spending, world consumption, this being almost a third of the electricity in the world. Or let's take into account that to generate electricity.
chaos theory, an environmental impact due to fast fashion. Chaos theory states that the world does not have a defined order, that its actions are the product of the minor random actions that trigger larger actions or problems. In fast fashion or the fashion industry, the example is very clear and the rules is followed perfectly, because when manufacturing and producing clothing, the resources and materials that are discarded do not cause minor damage, but rather there is a proportion, since by sending them with toxic elements, they damage a large amount of natural resources such as water and air. The clearest of most famous example is when clothes go through dyeing process, where a lot of water is used to produce only one piece of clothing. Exorbitant and disproportionate amounts of water were wasted. This without counting the water that, after passing due to the protection measure, contaminating thousands and thousands of liters around the water bodies, Here we realize how the fast fashion or fashion industry has many principles and foundations of chaos theory, because by producing a very large mass, it contaminates and harms resources in large quantities. That is, something minor was done something much elderly.
Organizations that seek to solve the environmental impact of fast fashion. Although not everything is great, there are also foundations and organizations that are in charge of solving the environmental impact that the fashion industry produces, such as the HTN Foundation, which is in charge of mitigating environmental problems, produces technology that helps the environment, produces clean energy, and promotes environmental protection.
In conclusion, textile product brands have a great benefit in our daily life. But at the same time, these products affect and pollute our environment because they are more focused on the production of textiles than on caring for the planet. This problem is also linked to the poor quality of these textiles, since it would be convenient for these products not have a long duration, so that consumers buy these products constantly and thus have a higher income.